Well, howdy folks, and welcome to Mower Mike's Plumbing Special. Now, let me ask you a question. Does the water coming out of your faucet smell absolutely horrible? It smells like sulfur. You've got your guests, they're smelling like ass because your hot water is just awful. Well, let me tell you what's going on. Inside the hot water heater, there's something called an anode. Well, I don't even know how to say it. Anode. And what it is, it's a big metal bar that slides inside the hot water heater, and it's a different type of metal that it causes all the reactions, the rust, the grump, and everything. It gets attracted to this bar, and that way it keeps it off the sides of the hot water heater, and it just eats away this and collects all sorts of calcium and gunk. And every now and then you need to replace it, because if you don't, it just causes a lot of smell, causes a lot of issues in the hot water heater. It's actually a maintenance item that you should change out every year or so. So what we're gonna do today, I'm gonna walk you through how to replace it. It's a fairly simple job, but you do wanna watch it before you take this on. If you do take it on, it'll probably save you like $300. I've got a cool kit I got off the Amazon for like 20 bucks we are going to use. Now, a couple of things first. I do highly suggest that you flush your hot water heater either before or after you do this replacement, because your hot water heater is also full of gunk. There's all sorts of crap on the bottom that's built up and it needs to be flushed. But you're in luck, because I've got a couple of videos on flushing a hot water heater. I've got a really bad old one, very long one, that I use hydrochloric acid. It's really stupid, but it's kind of funny, and you see me pissed off. And then I've got a shorter one that'll show you how to flush it out. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. I do want to clarify that I am not a certified plumber. If you're looking for a certified plumber, go somewhere else. But I do have lots of non-certified plumber friends I've talked to about this, and I've watched a lot of YouTube, and I graduated Texas Tech. You're like, why the hell does Texas Tech matter, Mike? Well, if anybody's lived in Lubbock for a long time, the water sucks out there, so there's a high likelihood I have done this before. All right, so enough rambling. Before we start unbolting and doing some crazy stuff with the hot water heater, safety first. Make sure to switch off your hot water heater. Either the gas needs to be turned off or the electrical. And I highly suggest letting it sit for a little bit so you don't burn the piss out of yourself when we have to drain a little bit of water. So once you have the hot water heater shut off, next you need to turn off the water supply to the hot water heater. You should, on the cold side, have some sort of valve. You can see here, I've got a ball valve here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make that perpendicular, and so that's gonna shut off the cold water supply to the hot water heater. Next, I want you to go inside your house and turn on the hot water, which is gonna be the left faucet of anything you're looking at, bathtub, sink, or anything, and turn it on, and that's gonna relieve the pressure, because we're gonna have to drain a little bit of water out of your hot water heater. If you watch my flushing video, it talks all about it, but essentially we need to relieve the pressure. That way it doesn't create a suction and lets us drain a little bit of water out. All right, so our next step in this little adventure is we need to drain some water out of the hot water heater. We need to get 1 to 2 gallons out. We don't need to drain the whole thing. The reason is that when we unbolt that sucker off the top, you don't want water flying out everywhere. But also we don't want to drain the whole thing, because we just want to pull it off the top just a little bit, because having water inside the hot water heater will help with the buoyancy. It'll help us pull that thing out. It'll make it a little lighter due to the laws of physics. So with everything hooked up, you should have just a flathead screwdriver right here, a little valve, and if you undo it, you might get some water out. Now, like this one, there's no water coming out. I think it's because I have the hot water faucet still on. I guess it sucked it all out. But go ahead and try to empty some water out. Oh, there's some water coming out. And get a couple gallons out, and then shut it, and then we're gonna go up top. Now, a couple of notes. If when you turn this thing off, and you take this off, and this damn thing is still leaking, what's cool about the kit is it comes with a little cap here. So you can just put the little cap on it. This is actually in the Anode, I've got to research the Anode kit, and you can put a little cap on it to keep it from leaking. It's time to rip that old Anode out, and we'll see how nasty it is. Now, on the top of your water heater, there's gonna be a 1 16 inch looking bolt head. Now this is standard. You're probably gonna have to pop a little cap off here, but it's gonna be down in here. Now, what's cool is that they're all gonna be 1 16, and the kit that I'm gonna link down below actually comes with the socket. It's with a 1/2 inch slide in there. Now you've got a couple options here. You can get yourself a breaker bar and put it in here, and lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, and try to break it off. Now, the issue with this is that most of these hot water heaters, especially if they're empty, they're gonna twist on you because these are very corroded and hard to get to. But that is one option. You can have a buddy actually hug the hot water heater to give you some leverage, get your breaker bar on here, maybe get a pipe on there or something like that, and rip it off. Now me, since I'm Mower Mike, I believe in power tools. So what I got here is the DeWalt XR impact wrench 20 volt. She runs about 300 pounds. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and rip it off and let's see what happens here. Whoa, we've got water coming out. I can see I possibly did not drain the water out properly, as you saw. I'm messing up all sorts of stuff. But it looks like we've got her loose. So next what I'm gonna do is try to pull that thing out. Now, if somebody's got some comments, maybe they can leave me a comment on why this didn't drain all the way out. Funny, funny, funny. All right, so we're gonna twist it out and pull it out. All right, you can see right here, we've got her coming out. Now, one of the issues you're gonna run into is that, especially with these solid anodes, is that it's gonna hit the ceiling and you don't have access to pull it all the way out. But don't worry, I have a solution for you. What we can do is, I'm gonna pull it up and we're gonna have to cut this sucker. That thing is disgusting. You see, it's already kind of halfway through. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a pair of vice grips and clamp it so it doesn't fall back in there. Because the last thing we need is this sucker falling back in the hole. Now, I should have preset my vice grips. Dude, this thing is gnarly, folks. A little more. And we're gonna cut it. Now, again, I have never done this before, and you definitely might want some gloves. All right, so we're gonna put my gloves on, and again, we've got a couple ways to cut it. Now, you can take yourself a hacksaw, and we can just hacksaw through it here, like so. We'll see how that works. That actually works pretty good, but we don't have patience for that because I am on a time crunch. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and cut this sucker with my angle grinder. Again, I'll put all the links to tools below. I just dropped some stuff. Let's see if we can go ahead and get this sucker cut real quick. Wow, that is much harder to cut than I thought. All right, we got her cut. Like you see, be careful and don't nick your pipes. And let's see if we can pull it out all the way now. She's a little warm. Come on, work for me. Look at that, we got it out. All right, so we've got our anode out. And what we're gonna do next, I'm gonna go to the shop and we're gonna look at the old one versus the new one and show you what comes in the kit. Stay with me. All right, we got that nasty thing out of there. So next, I'm gonna go through the kit I purchased off Amazon. We're gonna talk about everything that's included and the new design of the anode. But first of all, let's take a look at the old one. It is actually really cool looking. You can see it is just rusted. It actually rusted all the way through, split. So I'm actually lucky that this thing did not break inside of the hot water heater and fall to the bottom because I would have been screwed. You can see right here. Now this one's been in there for about 10 years. You're supposed to replace these every single year. So you can see, and then especially on the bottom, you can see the black, just disgusting. So highly suggest you replace these. They say yearly. All right, so we're gonna talk about the new one. Now I went on Amazon and I got this kit. It's called About Fluid. I did a little research on it. This is actually a plumber. He came up with his own kit. And you know, the best thing about this kit is it comes with some wonderful step-by-step instructions on how to replace it properly, which I am trying my best to follow. I think it's great. And when we look at the actual new one here, you're like, what in the world? This looks like nunchucks. Well, this is a newer, better design. And you see it's got steel cables between here. And the reason it's set up like this is because, as you saw earlier, we had to cut the old one out. This one, you can have a short ceiling and just slowly sneak it in there. And that way you don't actually have to cut it. And it's much, much easier to remove. So I highly suggest getting this type. I'll put all the links down below to this one here. And all right, so we got this, we got the instructions, but also, of course, it comes with some pipe thread. So we can wrap that around there. Let's go ahead and do that. and because we need to make sure that is going to have a good seal around the head of this sucker. You can see, there we go. Thrilling content here. This is actually the first time I've ever done this, so you're like, why am I watching this guy? I don't know. All right, so we got the plumber's tape around there of our new anode setup, and some of the other things it comes with. I was super impressed with this part. It actually comes with the socket needed to get this sucker off and back on there, which I think that is just first class. Also, as I talked about earlier, it comes with a little cap in case your drain is leaking. You can just put it on there. Little tip here to add hydrogen peroxide. So I thought this was a really cool little tip. He actually put a separate card in there. So obviously that's pretty important. So as you see in our next shot, we're gonna add 32 ounces of hydrogen peroxide into there, and that's gonna help clean it out. And then, just like changing your oil, it comes with a little sticker where you can put your date on there, and that way we can slap this sucker on a hot water heater. So all in all, I've been really impressed. A lot of crap I buy on Amazon just sucks, but this one looks really complete and pretty slick. So with that, let's go ahead and get back to that old hot water heater and strap this thing back together. All right, now let's go ahead and put the new one back in our hole right there. And if you'll notice, that hole is awfully dirty. Rule of thumb, I always like to carry an extra roll of toilet paper anywhere I go for these situations, just to kind of stick it in there, you know, clean it out a little bit. Oh, that is gross. This might be a double wiper here, folks. Let's go ahead and get at least some of the dirt out of there. All right. Now, let's do the moment of truth and see if our nunchuck will go into the hole. This one is quite a bit longer than my last one, so I'm hoping it just slides on in there. Come on, go all the way. You can see I did not drain it properly, but it looks like it's sliding in there. Perfect. We're gonna go ahead and hand tighten it, and then, you know, last time I used that impact socket, but we're not gonna do that this time. Reason being, the new one has a plastic thread, and I don't wanna destroy the threads. You just wanna get it tight. That's what the instructions say. They don't actually give you a pounds or anything. So we're just gonna tighten it on there. All right. Now, the one step I did skip, I didn't add peroxide in there. That is a suggestion from the supplier. Mine would have probably just spilled everywhere. But if you do that, just make sure to flush it out quite a bit. So let's go ahead and pull back, and we're gonna wrap this video up. All right, I tell you what, we've gone ahead and slapped the sticker on her. It must be a man thing because I love putting stickers on things, especially validating my work and a date. So the last step after you throw your sticker on is that we have to test it for leaks. Now, I'm always a little nervous on the leak test, so let's go ahead and crank it and see if we have any water coming out. Got my fingers crossed. Well, all right. It looks like we're good, folks. Now, a couple of notes. I would highly suggest go ahead and flush it at this point. You know, I've pitched my flush video enough. But if you're not gonna flush it, at least run a lot of hot water through it to make sure all the contaminants are out, especially if you're through some hydrogen peroxide in there, because I don't think you wanna drink 32 ounces of hydrogen peroxide. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this video. I do apologize for the bad lighting in this video. I'm in this garage, and so the lighting sucks. The next one will be much better down there in the shop. So Mower Mike's out. Talk to you later.